Welcome to the A&R NASCAR Cup Series Season 2. We are here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 400. Last year's winner, Dale Earnhardt Jr., is in 124 sitting in the stands watching today to see if Alex Bowman, who has taken over the 88, can grab his second victory. But before we get into today's event, let's go through some points right here and see which drivers have a shot, which ones are locked in, and which ones are in a must-win. First up is the points leader, Kyle Larson. We just wanted to mention him as being the points leader. He's been consistent all season, but up until a couple weeks ago, he still hadn't had gotten his first win, but he got that first win at Darlington. So look out for Kyle Larson to be a major threat in the playoffs.
Next up in points is Ty Dillon. He has 203 points, which is 2 less than Kyle Larson. Right on Kyle Larson's tail. Let's see how he can perform here, and let's see if he can pass Kyle Larson in points.
So not only will we be on the lookout for bubble drivers making the playoffs, but we are going to be watching a close race between Kyle Larson and Ty Dillon to see who will grab the regular season championship. It's a 2-point difference here between Kyle Larson and Ty Dillon, as these two have been dominant this year, as third place driver isn't even close with 165 compared to 205. What a major difference. These four drivers are what we're mainly going to be searching for today, as these four drivers are the four main bubble drivers that have a shot to make the playoffs, but not necessarily have to win. The first of them being Kyle Busch in the 18 car. He is currently sitting in the playoffs. So all he has to do, he has to finish well today. He has 135 points, but he is the last one in on points. So he will be struggling just to keep himself in the playoffs. He cannot have a mistake today. Next, we have Aric Almirola, who is 3 points above Kyle Busch. So he has a little bit more of a cushion over Martin Truex Jr., who is currently out right now looking in. He is trying to catch Kyle Busch, who he is 3 points behind Kyle Busch right now. He is 6 points behind Aric Almirola. So these three are mainly going to be your focus, but we haven't talked about Daniel Suarez, the reigning champion, yet. Daniel Suarez has 140 points, so Martin Truex Jr. is only 8 points back of Daniel Suarez. Something catastrophic would have to happen to Daniel Suarez for him to be eliminated. He just has to have a good finish. Not a great finish, but he just has to have a good run. It's crazy to think that Daniel Suarez is on the playoff bubble after winning 4 races last year and dominating, becoming the champion. Here is the actual look at the board. As you can see, we'll scroll through them. This is the initial of the drivers, so that would be Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, Ty Dillon, Kyle Larson, and the number of points beside their name. As here, these are the 3 bubble drivers looking out. They are in the playoffs right now. Then Bubba Wallace right here. You see he's in the middle of it right there. You're asking why is he not in the talk? Because Bubba Wallace has won a race, which means he gets to automatically advance to the playoffs. And Martin Truex Jr., you can see, is above the cut line right now. Not really, because Martin Truex Jr. and Ryan Blaney, they flip. Because Ryan Blaney has won a race, so he jumps above because he's an automatic lock, and Martin Truex Jr. gets dropped below. The next one in is Chase Elliott, which he still has a chance of getting in, but it's going to take a lot of good things for Chase Elliott and bad things for drivers up here. And pretty much after that, it's must-win for everybody besides Jimmy Johnson, because he did not make the cut last week in qualifying. So let's keep our eyes out for the bubble drivers today. Let's get ready to race here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the regular season finale.
Let's get started with the first race. We have Matt Kenseth and Kurt Busch in 3, 2, 1, go. I think Kurt Busch might have won that. Here we have the instant replay. You can see that the red car actually beat out the blue car. Last place just beat out the pole sitter because the pole sitter ran out of fuel right at the line. Or maybe did it intentionally like Lightning McQueen at the end of Cars 1. Who knows? But Kurt Busch is the winner.
So the 6-car season has ended. We will not see the 6-car return to an A&R NASCAR Cup Series track until the Daytona 500, where one of these drivers is going to take over the 6-car. Wonder who it'll be. Yeah, I wonder. Next we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Ryan Newman. These drivers both need to win this race to move on to the playoffs. So in this stage, whoever loses, their season has ended. So it's do or die for Stenhouse and Newman. In 3, 2, 1. Oops. Newman didn't get out of the box. We'll have to rerun. Here we are. We're ready to race again. I guess it was just too much pressure for Newman. In 3, 2, 1. Who's gonna... Ryan Newman won't go. Well, let's see if NASCAR can figure out the problem. And NASCAR figured out the problem. They have fixed it. The repairman did their job. Now, third time's a charm. For one of these drivers, at least. Stenhouse or Newman. Season's on the line in 3, 2, 1. And Ryan Newman's season has come to an end. Ryan Newman is on his side. But we will not see Ryan Newman until season number 3. Stenhouse, on the other hand, he is still in contention. He still has a chance, but he must win this entire race to move on to the playoffs.
Ryan Newman, just like in real life, will finish off the season with something on his roof. Next up, we have Clint Boyer and Bubba Wallace Jr., or Darrell Wallace Jr. if you prefer the other name. Both of these drivers are already locked in, so it doesn't matter who wins here. So they're just racing for more points. In 3, 2, 1, go. And that's clearly Bubba Wallace.
Next we have Austin Dillon, who must beat out Ty Dillon if he wants to continue this season.
Dillon brothers.
And Ty Dillon. Yes, the Dillon brothers. Will Ty Dillon end his brother's season? That's the question. Will Ty Dillon end his brother Austin Dillon's season? Hopefully, if he does, there's not too much bitterness between the two. But Ty Dillon already locked in. Austin Dillon needs to win. Ty Dillon will end his brother's season. Austin Dillon has been eliminated from Season 2.
Next up, we have Casey Kane in the WRL and Brad Keselowski in the number 2 Rees in 3, 2, 1, go. And I believe that was Brad Keselowski that hit first.
Next we have Jamie McMurray and William Byron. William Byron must win this race to continue. Jamie McMurray, on the other hand, is pretty good in points. He doesn't have anything to worry about. In 3, 2, 1. And neither of them finished. Jamie McMurray went for a fly, while William Byron is doing a nice trick there. The only trick he wants to do right now is win, though. Now we get to swap lanes. Byron on the top, Jamie McMurray on the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Jamie McMurray wins. Byron's season ends. William Byron's season has come to an end. So 2 of the Hendrick cars have already been eliminated from the playoffs.
Next up, we have the Battle of the Bubbles. We have Martin Truex Jr. and Eric Almirola. Let's see who will win here. In fact, if there's a chance that if someone loses, that they'll be eliminated from the playoffs. In 3, 2, 1, go. I'm pretty sure Truex won that one. We have an update. Truex was in fact the winner, which means that Eric Almirola is eliminated from the playoffs.
So after winning 2 races last year, Eric Almirola will miss the playoffs this year, unfortunately. Kevin Harvick and Clint Boyer are part of Stewart-Haas Racing, and Kurt Busch, as that fact is, Eric Almirola will be the only Stewart-Haas driver not to participate in the playoffs this year. But then we have Denny Hamlin over here. He needs to win this race in order to keep his season alive. In 3, 2, 1. Who won? It doesn't look like anybody crossed the finish line. They're almost identical in how far they went off. Wow. They swapped lanes and they're going to try again in 3, 2, 1. Hamlin got the jump that time, and he will indeed win. Harvick has no problem. He's already locked into the playoffs, but Hamlin's hopes are still alive for playoffs.
Next up, we have Ryan Blaney, which is not on the cut line. I thought he is on the cut line in points, but he has a victory. And a John Allmendinger. In 3, 2, 1, go. I am not sure who won there. Let's go to the replay. Here is the perfect frame to see that A.J. Allmendinger, right there, is the winner. Just barely won. That was a close call.
Here we have a win-or-go-home match. If you win, you move on. If you lose, you go home and will not come back until Season 3. Chase Elliott, Eric Jones are off in 3, 2, 1. And Eric Jones, it looks like, will take the victory. So Chase Elliott, after making the championship 4 in Season 1, finishing fourth in the standings, rather, will not advance to the Season 2 playoffs.
Wait just a second. We have breaking news. Chase Elliott actually won the race. You can see Chase Elliott is slowing down into the bandana, and there's still a gap with Eric Jones.
Chase Elliott indeed is your winner. My mistake. I thought Eric Jones hit the banner first. But Chase Elliott will keep his season alive. Eric Jones will be eliminated. So Hendrick still has a chance of having 2 cars in the playoffs while Eric Jones' season has ended. Wow. So that will make 2 seasons in a row that the 20 car will not reach the playoffs. He did better than Matt Kenseth did, though, and he did win $1 million in the All-Star race, so you can't call this season a complete loss for the 20.
Next up we have Daniel Suarez, which is on the bubble of winning, even though last season he was the reigning champion. And Alex Bowman, which is already locked into the race because he won at Watkins Glen. So 200 cars will make it to the playoffs. In 3, 2, 1, go. And nobody will make it. Quick lane swap around. Maintenance is fixing the billboard. It's up and running now. In 3, 2, 1, go. And Alex Bowman will win.
Now we have the Kyle and Kyle show. Kyle Larson fighting for back-to-back wins. Kyle Busch fighting for his life here in Season 2. Kyle Larson might end Kyle Busch's season if he beats him out. Let's see. In 3, 2, 1. And Kyle Larson evidently won that race. That's quite obvious. Kyle Busch has been eliminated from the race. After the race, we'll divvy up the points and see if he's still going to participate in the playoffs or if he will be eliminated.
Next up, we have the 21 and the 22 of Paul Menard and Joey Logano. Both of them are pretty much locked into the playoffs, but yeah, neither of them have had a win. But anyways, 3, 2, 1, go. And that was Paul Menard.
Next we have Kurt Busch going up against Paul Menard, who just beat out Joey Logano. Kurt Busch still looking for his first A&R NASCAR Cup Series career. Wouldn't it be just fitting to put it in this particular situation? In 3, 2, 1. But Paul Menard will spoil the party and end Kurt Busch's rally. It won't eliminate Kurt Busch from the playoffs, but still, it's nice to go out in the regular season with a win. Paul Menard moves on to Stage 3.
Our next matchup is our points leader versus our points ender. Last place versus first place. Let's see who will perform better here at Indianapolis. I think I have a feeling who. In 3, 2, 1. Yep, just as I suspected, Kyle Larson wins. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s season is at an end. He has just been eliminated from the playoffs.
Next we have Bowman and Wallace. Both of these drivers are locked in, so it doesn't matter who wins here, I guess. Bowman wins as Wallace goes for a huge tumble.
Our next matchup is Chase Elliott, which is on the brink of getting eliminated. He's in a must-win situation. And Ty Dillon, which is second place in points. Let's see how they finish. In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. Well, I'm not sure what would have happened if Ty Dillon actually won. Let's rerun him. Rerun in 3, 2, 1, go. That was a close finish. We'll have to check the replay on that one. After reviewing the footage, we have just determined that Ty Dillon has been eliminated. Or not eliminated from the playoffs, he's still second place in points. But Chase Elliott wins that race.
Chase Elliott is doing exactly what he needs to do. Win. Let's see if he can finish it off. He's already done a lot today. Let's see how far he can go. AJ in a must-win. Brad in a must-do-good. Must-do well. I was taking that from a Team Penske quote one time. But that was Joey Logano who said must-do good. But he must do well, and he must do very well. Win. 3, 2, 1. Close race, but AJ Allmendinger doesn't finish the track, so his season has come to a close. He is eliminated from the being in the playoffs. Brad Keselowski is moving on.
Next up, we have the one and the double one. G. McMurray and Denny Hamlin. 3, 2, 1, go. That was pretty close. I'm pretty sure Hamlin won that.
Hamlin's season continues for the time being. In the race still, we have a bubble driver, Truex, doing exactly what he needs to do well. And we have a couple of must-win scenarios. And then we have Kyle Larson and Brad Keselowski, as well as Paul Menard. In 3, 2, 1. And it looks like Paul Menard will take the victory on that one. Or did he hit that? Looks like he did.
Yep. Next up, we have points leader versus a must-win. I'm not sure how this race is going to go. Sarcasm. In 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, you saw that correct. Hamlin just beat out the points leader.
Hamlin firmly telling Kyle Larson, I want to participate in the playoffs. Enough of this. Well, now it's going to be Brad versus Bowman. Both of these drivers already locked in the playoffs. Let's see how they fare here. Brad Keselowski will take the victory. Bowman is eliminated.
Next up, we have Chase Elliott and Paul Menard in 3, 2, 1. And that was Chase Elliott.
Next, we have Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin. Oh, the pressure's real. Hamlin, if he wins, he will go up against Chase Elliott. Both of those drivers in must-wins. Brad's just out here playing spoiler. He's locked in. He just wants to cause trouble for these two drivers, I guess. In 3, 2, 1. Brad gets the jump, and he will take the victory. Hamlin, it looks like his season will come to a close. We'll have to check the points after the race. But Hamlin did a good job today. Don't know if it'll be good enough. Brad Keselowski's still playing spoiler out here.
Or you could say playing spoiler, but
Chase Elliott only has to beat Brad Keselowski. He has the ticket to the playoffs sitting in front of his eyes. He just has to beat Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski just trying to ruin Chase's season, I guess. In 3,
2, 1. I wasn't paying attention. We'll have to check the replay. After reviewing the footage, our winner is Chase Elliott. Here's the instant replay.
Chase Elliott has just won his way into the playoffs. He came into this race in a must-win scenario, basically. He has not done very well this season, but he has just won his way. It's a good thing that the replay system caught that race between Eric Jones and Chase Elliott, or Chase Elliott would not be sitting in victory lane right now. Chase Elliott will be at the Roval next week battling, and he could potentially be your champion. Chase Elliott. Wow, what a story for Chase Elliott. He made the championship 4 last year, finished 4th in the standings, and it looked like this year, with the switch over to the Camaro and the number 9 car, it looked like the team hadn't found their groove like last year, where they knew how to get things done. But Chase Elliott proves everybody wrong as he wins at Indianapolis. What an upset. Here is your finishing order. Chase Elliott, your winner, obviously. And then we also have, in second place, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin. Because he finished this well, and the bubble drivers he was battling, other than Truex, Busch, Suarez, and Almirola, did so poorly, he might just make his way above the cut line. We'll have to check. Kyle Larson, a great finish once again. Paul Menard, a good top 5 finish for him today. Truex, a great finish. We'll have to see if it was good enough to get himself into the playoffs. McMurray cannot take the Indianapolis victory, so we'll see him next week at the Roval, though. And AJ Allmendinger will be eliminated from the playoffs. Ty Dillon, Bubba Wallace did a good job. Stenhouse will be eliminated. These two drivers, though, we're going to be taking a look at, as Eric Almirola as well. There's your finishing order. The pole sitter finishes last because he was eliminated by Kurt Busch. Let's do the points.